So are we ready? Okay, so because I don't like any of the videos on YouTube and they don't tape the way I tape and the way I'm going to teach you how to tape, we're gonna make our own video today and show you guys the steps that we're gonna take to properly tape an ankle, and hopefully within the next couple of weeks you guys will be comfortable enough doing this by yourself to our athletes. So we start out with the QDA. I'm not actually gonna spray this on her because that'd be mean, because she just has to take it right off after this. So we would spray. Now for you guys being new and not super good at this yet, we're going to use heel and lace pads, okay? And they have the lube on them, and so they go right there on the Achilles and then in the bend of the top of the foot. So when the pre-wrap rolls, you're not causing blisters, which is definitely something nobody is going to come back to you if you're making them have blisters when you tape their ankle. So when we start with the pre-wrap, make sure that you have the roll up. Now if you're right-handed, put the roll in your right hand. If you're left-handed, put the roll in your left hand. But I like it with the roll up because if it's the roll down, you're fighting the tension the whole time, and here you have a little bit more control. So we'll start down low on the ankle. If you'll flex, make sure they're flexed all the way as much as they can. That'll help with the rolling situation. And then you're just gonna go ahead and cover the ankle, the entire foot, and try not to have any rolls. So the way you do that is don't pull really hard on the pre-wrap. Just lay it down on the patient. And as you can see, her calf muscle kind of comes to an end right here, so we want to stop right at the base of the calf muscle. And so that's what your power flex or your pre-wrap should look like before. No rolls, everything is covered. All right, and then we move on to the tape. Hopefully by now you guys can tear the tape, and we're gonna start with anchor strips. We're gonna do 2 at the top and 1 in the arch of the foot. When you are doing this, try not to go straight across. Come down in a little bit of an angle, depending on the size of the person's leg. And so with that angle, it just gives you a better line and not so much wrinkle in the tape. So we're gonna do 2 of those. All right, and then we're gonna come down here onto the base of the foot. Everyone has what's called the head of the 5th metatarsal, so you'll be able to feel that bone right on the outside of their foot. You wanna try to keep your anchor strip down here below that area. If we put the tape too high up, we cause their foot to kind of smash together and it can't relax when they're walking, and you can cause stress fractures in that area. So you want to make sure that when you do it, you're still taping at an angle and putting most of that pressure right behind that bone. Okay? So those are your anchor strips. After our anchor strips, we go ahead and move on to our stirrups. So just like when a cowboy rides a horse, he puts his foot into the stirrup, and the stirrup comes up both medial to lateral. So when you're doing a normal ankle sprain tape, you're always coming medial, which is the inside of the foot, to lateral, which is the outside of the foot. When you're coming medial to lateral, then after you've done the stirrup, you're gonna go ahead and do the horseshoe. And so the horseshoe also starts medial in the middle and comes around to finish on your anchor strip, okay? And make sure that you're trying not to do any rolling or anything in the back near the heel, because that's where we cause blisters. And then we just layer our stirrups and our horseshoes, 3 of each, trying to overlap about half of the tape's width each time you do it, and covering as much space as you can. Making sure you're trying not to get too many wrinkles in there, okay? And so after we finish that, we're gonna do our heel locks. Now, our heel locks, we do 2 in each direction and we alternate them. So I always start on the outside first, and then you're always going to end where you start. So you start out on this side, you're gonna end on this side. So this is where we come wrap around the back of the heel, and finish right where we started, okay? On the video y'all saw today, they started down here. The more angle of pull you give, the stronger it's gonna be. So we want it to be as strong as possible to make that heel lock as tight as possible, because this is what's gonna help that rotation not happen. So that's our first one, going one direction, and then we're gonna go the opposite direction, bringing it around the back of the heel, over to the front and right where we started, okay? So that was one in each direction, and then two in each direction. All right? Trying to make sure that you're not pulling the tape where it doesn't want to go. If you try to pull the tape this way, you're going to start seeing a lot more wrinkles because that's not the angle that you started at. So just go with what the tape wants to do, and then you can cover it all up and make it look pretty later. Okay, so we've done our heel locks now. Now after our heel locks, we do our figure of 8. It's much easier to start right there at the base of the lateral malleoli, okay? And you're gonna bring it around the top first, and then around the back, and once again finish where you started, okay? Same thing, we're gonna come over here, medial malleoli, straight down angle of pull, okay? Around the bottom of the foot, over the top of the foot. See, you just let the tape go where it wants to, and across, finishing right there where you started, okay? And that is pretty much it. After that, we just cover everything and make your ankle tape job look really nice and pretty, because the athlete doesn't necessarily know what's hidden underneath. So if you can just make it finish nice and neat, you are good to go. Just like that. The end.